Hello. Hello. We'll wait for the people to join in. Hello. We'll wait for the people to join in. So you're able to see my screen because I'm having some network issues because it's been pouring in Bombay. Hi Jen. So we'll wait for a few minutes for people to join in. And this is a small thought while we start our session. We have one life. You can think about it, dwell about it. So a minute should we wait, or we'll start and let the people join in? And because I get to see quite a few new faces, the old faces are still to join in, so we'll wait for them. We'll start the session, let them join in. Welcome to another session with Maya, and let's tangle together. And here we go. So I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. Before I start, and I just want to say that I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. That's why I have this, which says I'm branded by the Certified Zentangle and by the Zentangle. And I'm a certified CZT who's been teaching now. It's going to be 2 years that I've been teaching, and we started this online session just to relax. So that's why we say any tool what you have with you is enough, because we just want to trust the process and enjoy and relax. So when you really want to take a class, we ask you to buy the right materials, because that's a respect to an art form. So here we go. So and what we're going to do, the tool is what we're going to use a tool which is a Zentangle tile, which is a 3.5-inch tile. So we're going to use that. If you do not have this, yeah, it's good enough that you can use any art paper or a normal photocopy paper, which you take a photocopy of from a printing paper, or a sketchbook or anything, because we just want to believe in it. The reason we ask you to use this particular paper tile or whatever size is that it's easy to tangle around and rotate. So I'm going to use mostly I might use two colors, as usual, brown and a black. So these are the Sakura pens, and we strongly recommend Sakura pens because we've seen the after the long use also, the pens, the quality of your work, it's really long lasting. So, and then we're going to use a graphite pencil and a Tortillon or the Tortillon or the Stab The graphite pencil is a Zentangle graphite pencil and the Totalon. If you do not have these tools, you can use a normal graphite pencil and normal earbud. So these are primarily used to give a shading and a three-dimensional effect to your art form. The reason I was talking to you about the pen, the right material. So if you see this has been experimented with some pens. I know the brand. So these were experimented with pens, and if you see, this work was done sometime around 2019 July kind of a time, and if you can see, it's kind of really faded. So this is a different pen. This is a Sakura pen, and if you see, there are certain other pens I've kind of really faded, and especially this part of the thing is really faded. So that's the reason we say that Sakura is archival and really good. So that's the reason we recommend Sakura, and we've seen works, and I've seen a work which I've been doing from 2016. When I just flipped through my old books, I could see that they're still bright. So that's why we strongly recommend Sakura pens. So if you do not have these pens, you can use the normal pens. The pens what I'm used for the practice sessions, so we could use it. And these sessions what I teach you is only for your primary purpose, is only for your purpose, no commercial or no further teaching, because this is my sole proprietor of my sessions, which I am own to it. So that's it, we're good to go. So we will start our welcome for the people who have joined in now, and we were just talking about the tools what we use to create this art form. So this is a small thing which is just a small thought, and there's a post to it, so you can read in detail what I've written it on the post. So it's one life, and let's laugh often and enjoy it, right? So that's what it is. So we're going to do kind of for today is going to be little, it may take longer time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do section of it, and I'm going to leave it, and so I will show you, demonstrate it, so you can fill the other part of it, because it's going to be the repeat of it. So I'm just going to keep that right in the front, so that it might take, because it is little intricate, because it's small things, patterns. That's what is Zentangles. We're going to use repeated patterns of it, so it may take time. So I'm not sure about it, because I've done it in bits and things, so it may take time. So that's what I believe in it. So I will demonstrate it, so that at least one half of the tile would be done, and post your session you can go ahead and complete it, right? So let's keep all these aside, and let's discover. Today was this message card which says let's discover, right? So let's take the template. Let's practice first. So today what we're going to do is a pattern. I'm going to work on a pattern and use that pattern as my center, and we're going to use a little more filling in it. You're going to use those patterns and use that as in that we're going to fill some patterns and work around it. And this thought of creating this style in the session just came up from the inspiration from Maya Avanith, because they've been doing this new project which is launched. So I've taken the inspiration of those patterns or fragments from there and have created, this is my own tile which I've created it. So the pattern what we're going to do today is, it's called as why not. It's called as why not, and it's by a person from Japan. I won't be able to name it, I'm so sorry. So I don't want to pronounce it, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Hyunju Park. Okay, so it's by her. It's a very nice pattern. It will look kind of a complex to it, so we'll just take this bigger tile. So that's how has been my, so, and we use a pencil, and we're just going to draw a square. You can do it as a square which is a straight line, or you can do as a, you can do it as a straight or a curvy line, but I'm going to be stuck to being stiff today using a straight line, right? So then what we're going to do is I'm not going to use my pen, so I'm going to use my pencil. So you might have a little, let me see if I can, just tell me if you can give me a thumbs up if you can see the dark line of my pencil. Hi, Irish Tangler. If someone can give me a thumbs up that you can see it, because when you do it with pencil, it's little lighter. Or I could do it with pen. You just have to ignore if you can get to see those lines. Now what we do is a little closer. We're just going to put these dots. So we draw a square, and you want to do it in a circle, you can go ahead and do it in circle. So then you can draw these lines. So these is going to be our 4 dots in the center of these cross. So we do a cross. Now if you want to do something which is in a round, right, you can keep doing it, and you can do that, right? So you can do that way also. So this is a pattern which I just played around because, thanks. No, but I've started to use pen. It's okay. Thank you. Right. So I thought that will be much better, because if it is not clear, then it will be a problem. Right. So then what we do, these 4 dots, we put it and just follow the steps. Maybe you can do it later. And then we draw a line from this cross line to this. And then we do this again, a line from this cross line to this dot. Again from this cross line to this. Again from this cross line to this. So you're going to draw all these, and all these we will be doing it in pencil, and then once you are comfortable, then you can override on it, right? So once you've done this, right, what we're going to do is we're going to do a parallel to it. So if you want to extend it, and if you feel it is, just bring it out here. So we're just going to bring, see if you see, this is the actually dot it had to be. Sorry, that was an oopsie point, ignore it. So what you do is from here bring it down, from here bring it down. So you can bring it from here and then join it up. From here you can join it up, right? So I'm just going to show it again, because this is only the starting point, which is once you catch this up, it's easy. 1, 2, this is what the step is. Then you draw a parallel line to this, you draw a parallel line to this, and you just pull it up. Right? And then where this junction is, so where this junction is, just draw a line. That's it, that's all. So what this looks like when you've drawn it, it will look like a knot. It will look like a knot. That's what. So once you've done here, we're just going to go join this to this. This is the leg part. So you can think this as the leg part. So this thing, we join it across, we join it across. So it's like a knot. It's like a bow knot which happens. So is this clear, or you want me to demonstrate again, because we have another 2 more patterns to do? So I'll just do it once more. So if you assume that this is going to be, you will have to be going, because we're going in every this one, right? So you will be going in. So you keep doing it. That's how you keep doing it here. And if you put it too, this part, you want to put it too thick, or you want to put it a little thin and this is broader, so, or you want to just do it uniform, then depending on that you will get, so when you see the tile, you will get to see how you will be able to do it. So then you draw draw a parallel line to this. Basically you're drawing a parallel line to this, and then what you're doing, once you're done with this, you're joining it here, you're joining it here, you're joining it here, you're joining it here. So that brings your knot. So this is what the pattern is. This is what is the actual pattern would look like when you start decorating it. So this is what I've done, one kind of, so you can do a lot, you can do just shade it up and just fill it up some here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to leave this, we're just going to leave it and shade it, and we're going to use this particular space to do a pattern. So that's how it is going to be. So right, so we're going to use this pattern. In the other two patterns, what we're going to use from the Zentangle is a new project which has been brought. Okay? So we're going to use alphabets. So we're going to use two alphabets today. We're going to use alphabet D and alphabet H as our pattern. Okay, so what you do is you will be drawing a D, because we will be drawing a line and doing it, so we will have that reference line which we're going to do as a border. So just leave a little more space. So right, and then what you do is right here, right, and then this one we just extend it. I have done variation on this, it's on my journal book, but what I'm just going to demonstrate only one now, which was done by Maya. It's very nice, and just we'll be doing these two closer ones, because we're going to have a grid line, right? So it will go. So that's all is the pattern. And then what we're going to use, we're going to use another color, and we're just going to ink this up. We're going to ink this up, right? So if you look at it, the pattern, you will not understand that this pattern was an alphabet. So we're going to use this as one of our, in one of those spaces. We'll be using in one of these spaces here. So we will have one more space. So in that space we're going to do with an alphabet H. So this is alphabet D. We're going to do another one which is alphabet H. So what this is, again we will have lines, reference, this is going to put, I'm going to put dots. So it's a small dots. So these two are a little closer, give a little more space, these two again closer, so you can keep repeating. Now if you remember, we have done session on Huggins, so this is something like the Huggins, that's why I thought I will. Alright, and then we do an aura of this, and we're going to do an aura of this. You can do these aura being a little broader also, and we're just going to the same way. Now I'm going to see little, I'm going to do a little broader. See, both look nice. And this is what I say, I'm using a normal Uniball gel pen, so which you can use it. But if you're looking at something to be archived, then this is not going to be. We're just going to do just inking, and then what we're going to do is just going to join this. We're going to go as if it's going. Right, so we're going with this line, and this is coming out, and this is coming out. So we're going to go with this is, and this is this. So it's like, basically if you look at it, it is like going, right? So that's all is this. So we're going to use these patterns today, and let's see how our tile comes out. so we can do a lot of, and I've done a little different H and a D, so I'm not going to go into that part because it's already going to take time for us to create our tile. So we're going to use this pattern, which is Why Not by Hindu Park, and we're going to use these two to fill in our spaces which we have in it. So what I've done is that I've kept my bijou tile, right, and I have drawn the square. So now if you do not have it, you can just do a rough, that's fine. So I'm just, because I have this, so I'm using this as drawing my center space. I'm kind of centered it up and down, and then what I did a little, gave a distance of a pencil, what your pencil size or your, so I've taken that much of measurement and I've given the border. So I put these, and then that's what in my tray. So my string is like a frame. So this is outer, which I've given 4 dots. I put it, it's like 4 dots, and I'm done, and this, right? So let's start. So we're just going to do, okay, so, and we're going to do, I'm going to do very light, so you will not be able to see it. So I'm just going to do very light and just going to go my marking mine. Right, and what I'm going to do is just going to go, I'm just going to keep a parallel to it. I'm just going to go keep a parallel to it, and I'm bringing it from down and joining it here, keeping a little nice distance. Right, and I'm just keeping a parallel to it, dot, and I'm just bringing it out here. Saw that? And then what I do is I'm going to join this to my center point, this to my center point, this to my center point, and this to my center point. Right? Now I'm going to use my black and my brown, and I'm going to play around with it. So I'm just going to darken the center one. I'm just going to darken the center. Since I have space, what I'm going to do is I'm again going to darken my outer square, which I have used bijou tile as my reference. I'm just going to darken it out. Welcome to the people who've joined in late. We're using a pattern by name Why Not, and we're using the recent project by Maria and Rick, the project pack 515. We're using those alphabets as our I'm just if you see, this is nice why it actually forms. So that's where it is the, so if you see that, we have that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and give us aura to this. I'm just going to do an aura to this. And it's a 0.5, and if you see, I'm drawing it very thin because I'm giving a thin line to it. Right? So we're using this pattern, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a reference to it because this is too broad for me to draw a D. So what I'm going to do is So I'm going to keep from down, a line. So this, making it a little shorter. So this I'm going to just draw it in pencil. So I'm just shortening the length because your height is too much. So I'm just making it, reducing it, right? And then I'm going to use, what I'm going to do is, like I said in the beginning of the session, people who joined in late, so we're going to have to fill in too many things today, so I'm not sure we'll be able to finish it. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do one section and then demonstrate the rest. You can do it. So I'm going to go to the outer box and just going to outline that. Right? So I did it. And this also I will do, kind of try to see how it works out. If it is too thick, then maybe I'll do a thing. Now I'm going to do is, I'm going to do alphabet D out here, which is what I showed. I'll be using this pattern D out here. So I'm just going to start here and I'm going to give a little space. And assume that it is going to be here, and I'm going to assume that, right? And then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to draw a line here, right? And then I'm going to draw small kind of a, right? And then I'm going to put a dot, right? And it's like connecting, it's like your train compartments, like they're connected. So, and if you want a little more, so we're just going to go, right? And okay, yeah, let me finish this also. So I'm going to use my brown, just to bring a color, right? And then just going to go here and just bring a little one line. I'm just drawing between them. And if you remember, I've forgotten to join this part and ink this space. We're just going to go back and ink the space, right? I'm going to use my brown. If you feel that, so always remember that you can finish one color and then use the other pen, because if you want to keep swapping, and you might, so whenever you want to use a brown, then just bring that up, the brown. So we're just going to leave this here, and then we're going to go on top. We're not going to do anything out here. We will only do is that I'm just going to draw a, I'm just going to leave it, because that I'm just going to bring it up with a shading. So I'm going to just outline every of this. So we're using this pattern right at the center, and we're using another one to do a filler. That was just my swatch card of the pattern. Right, and it's going to be everywhere we're going to do this. Right, so in the center one, I am not going to do any of these kind of a embellishment or something. You can go ahead and do it, it's all yours. Your and your inspiration, your creativity, you can put it out here. I'm just going to go shade like this, and I'm just going to leave it out there. That's where I'm going to just leave it. So I'm used this, and I've used this space. Right, now what I'm going to do this particular part. So I'm going to just go, I'm either going to decide that this side, both these sides, I'm just going to extend the lines. So I'm going to use this as one row, this is one row, and this is going to be another row, and this is going to be another row. And then what I've done is make it more easier. What I did was I drew a line on top, and I used another row. So basically I drew all these, I'm doing it in pencil. So these two, see, all these will get disappeared off. So that's the reason I go. So these two will get disappeared. This is only a reference points. And then I go ahead and put my, so we've used two alphabets. We used alphabet D, we're using an alphabet H. So D is what we've done here, H is what we're going to do on the outer side, and we're using a pattern called Why Not. That's what we've done today. So this I'm going to give a little space to it. So I'm just going to fill this. I think we will be able to, not the full, but we will be able to finish it. If you're not comfortable, you put the pencil and then do. That's what I've demonstrated. If you're comfortable, just go ahead, put those circles. If you feel you need to, that's okay. You can just take your time and then do. And this is more like your Huggins pattern, which I have demonstrated. So in this space, you can't do a broader aura. You just have to do a thinner aura. The reason I do these two pencil line is easy to put it because it's easy to go on a row, and then for your last part it's easier because we need that. Right, and then we're going to join these. Right, and then we're going to go pause. If you feel doubtful, just pause for a minute and then take your stroke. Remember to breathe in and breathe out. Right, now we're going to use the other one. This is the brown pen. Right. And this is my famous. You can do any kind of embellishment you want to. Right, this is because it's incomplete, I'm not going to do it. Right, and that's it. We're just going to leave it. If you want, we can just do right. So we're just going to do that. That's all is going to be our pattern. And since we're going to repeat this, just going to show. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to do, and let's actually finish this black a little. Because we won't be able to finish this within the time. So if we cross beyond 9, we will hang up, and then you can just, so what we're going to do is we're just going to go here and this. That's all. We're just going to use here graphite, and here we are going to use your graphite, and then you're going to use your graphite in this junctions. Right, and then we're going to use our stub, and we're just going to just smoothen it up. Right, and then what we're going to do is you're going to do the same thing out here. So that's what we're going to do. And then what we're going to do is all these places, I'm just going to put a little graphite. Right, and I'm just going to pull this up. And we're just going to pull this up. So we're going to do this across all these 4 sides, and this is what we're going to do across other places. Right, so we will continue. So if we will try, so let's finish the D part of it, and then we could go about it. And you have these spaces. So we have this small space. So what I'm going to use my brown. I'm just going to make a little thick line out here. Right. So let's do our D. So it's alphabet D, we are using it. If any of you people are here with a name starting in D, it's for you. Last session I kind of blundered up, so the session didn't get saved in the normal IGTV, so it was saved in the YouTube. So you can watch my last session in the YouTube. I don't think people have joined in the YouTube, so you can. It's on my YouTube. It's just that I saw some option and I thought I could press it. Some new thing came in and I prompted it to be pressed, and when I tried to save it, it didn't get saved. So I can't, so I'm just going to leave it. So these two, you will do it in a mirror reflection. And I keep telling in every class, so I repeat the same stroke across all, so it becomes a little easy. So you can do the way you are comfortable, because that makes me feel comfortable of doing the same stroke. So we've done this. So we will do the same kind of a shading out here and out here once you've done with. And because it took a little longer, and because it was a different color tile when I shaded, it needed a lot of working to be done. So I was not sure, so that's the reason I thought I will tell you all that we will do, at least I'll demonstrate one side. So because it's going to be the same, we're just going to replicate the same thing. Now I'm going to take my other brown pen, and wherever I need to fill the so you're decking up the alphabet D. Right? So you're done with this row. So now we'll go repeat the outer row, and if you're able to do it, good. If not, you can do it post the session. So we're drawing an inner reference line first. And if you see, I draw very light because you will not be able to see the lines, but actually the lines are there. So you have to draw that line. That's what the strings are, because you're going to overwrite it. So your two dots are closer, and this is a little further, and then right. I'm going to use like I demonstrated, I just went with the pencil. So the next time I start doing directly with my pen, because some people, you take your time to do it, so that's fine. If you see, I keep repeating the same stroke. You can complete one and then go to the next one. That also is fine. when people ask, no, is learning Zentangle as a course? It is not a course. It's an ongoing practice, because you keep learning and evolving around it. If you want to learn more and enjoy it and benefit, there's never end to it. So, and you can just, it's never ending. It's like you keep, you think that, oh yeah, I learned this, tomorrow there will be something else which will be coming in your mind. This, when I was just doing in exploring this thing, I got to realize that okay, I could do this because this pattern was kept for me in my bucket list to do it. So I thought, let's go ahead and do this. And that's how this style is got created, and I'm sharing with you all. Sometimes when you're really busy and you've been busy in class, designing class, taking class, you're still doing Zentangle, but sometimes you feel that you need that, your me time for yourself. So that's what happened yesterday, where so I sat. All these ones, I'm just going to go. And I'm just going to show how the shading works on this. So if you see it here, right? And then we're going to use this. Right? So this is what we're going to do it, because I'm not sure we'll be able to complete it. So I'm just going ahead, just demonstrating it so that you get a hang of it and you could complete it, because it's going to be the same thing what we're going to repeat on all the 4 sides. Right? So I hope you are liking it, what we created it. So I'm just going to go outer side. That's all. So we're gonna. So this is a small reference and an inspiration. This is what I had. It just kept evolving it. I'm not sure you're able to get to see it. There's kind of a binge happened out here with gold and bronze and different colors. So I did this on a tan tile. So this is just a reference for to get you guys inspired on it. So and I'm just going to go in the center. It's going to go in the center. You can keep embellishing the way you want it. You need not do the way I am showing it. You get another better idea. You can go ahead and do it. I'll be most happy to see those. Thanks, Irish Tangler. So we will complete these. So it's already 9. So we will see if we can do it. I'll just take another 5 minutes and because it takes time. And people who have been doing tangling for long, and if you're a CZT and if you're interested, we're doing this session. This is in English and in the Indian language. If you're free this Saturday at so if you're free this Saturday, you can just look at my post. I put the time. I think it's either in the morning 11 o'clock Indian time or 4 o'clock in the evening time. So if you're interested, we will be doing this tile both in Indian and Indian language and English. And this is a free session. This is something of unity, of sharing and spending some time with Zentangle team. So we just a free session, free. So there's no video recording or anything of this. So this is going to be, so if you're interested, just do personal message me and I will discuss this on that. So let us do the small ones. And like I said, you can do this little curvy line and everything, or you can even do it in uh, circle. That's why I said this gap has to be little big, so that this inner line kind of comes. I think we will end this with this. So I'll just post the completed tile after this session. Or if you're fine to wait for another 5 minutes, I think we should be 5-10 minutes, we should be through. The shading what I show is just a reference. You can do the way you want it to be done. Right? So we're going to do the same thing out here, and let's finish the tile. So this is, I'm just going to just leave it here for you to get it more inspired. It looks complex, but as we break it up and do it, it's actually very simple. So if you see that I keep repeating the same strokes, that makes it more easier. And if you actually want to build your more focus and concentration, I would say that you do alternate, finish one, go to the other one, because that builds in more of concentration and focus. Right? And here we go. Just finishing it, giving us the last strokes. We've just used alphabet today. We've used an alphabet D and H, and on the pattern Y knot. This is the pattern Y knot we've used, and this is alphabet D and this is alphabet H. Right? And there we go. Use the, we kind of done. Yes, it did take beyond 9. I hope you like the tie. And if you see that I made it a little more longer and more distant so that I get lesser. See, if you see here, I have done more and I've done here less, because I just wanted to demonstrate it fully. That's it. We're done with our tile. We're just going to do shading now. Left with these spaces. Just to give a little depth to it, you can just add a little more shading if you feel. Welcome, Irish Tangler. So we're just going to shade this particular place. Right? And then we are not shaded here, so let's shade this part. We haven't shaded this part. Let's shade this part, right? And we have not shaded here. Let's shade this part. Shading brings in so much of magic, and I love, that's the face I love more. And keeping your pencil sleeping, and then when you do it, that gives you a more. You're done. I hope you liked it, and don't forget to put your chalk once you're done. It's a very simple tile. So how did you like it? You guys enjoyed it? So we used a pattern called Why Not, and we used alphabets to tangle and create this. We used alphabet D and H. And this tile has got a little more binge on it, so it's got bronze and gold and a lot of work. See, I told you it took time. See, it's 20 minutes more, as said, and I've done it a little faster, but if I'd done it a little more, so it would have taken more time. Thanks, Irish. Do create your tile and do share it, and share it with your friends. Get them also to be inspired and create it. Right? And do share it. I would love to see your creations. Right? So we used the alphabet D and H out here. See you all next week. See you all next week, Tuesday. So see you all. Bye.